With more and more families leaving traditional public schools in recent years, a handful of Republican lawmakers are pushing to get more money for homeschooled kids in private schools. And they say this is very timely now that many parents are pulling their kids from public schools where no in-person learning is being offered. News 13's Rachel Knapp is live here to explain.
Because of the pandemic, a lot of parents moved their kids to homeschooling, and the PED told me the number of students attending homeschool programs this year almost doubled to 15,000.
I've had more families this year saying that they need help with alternative education for their children. This is not a pandemic bill. This is a social equality, and this is a racial equality bill.
In House Joint Resolution 7, it would change the state's constitution to allow funding for public schools to go to parents of homeschool kids, private school students, and public school students who are doing remote learning during an epidemic. Backers of the idea say this is about school choice and social equality in education.
And I want them to decide if they believe that they have the right to choose for their families and for their children private schools, non-public schools, in order to have their children get educational opportunities of their choice, not based on the zip code that they can afford to live in.
Analysts note that if this proposed constitutional amendment passes and parents decide to homeschool their kids or send them to private schools, enrollment could drop at public schools, crippling their budgets. Now, this proposed is it's scheduled to be heard in a House committee this afternoon. Kim, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Rachel. Now, as a joint resolution, the proposal would have to pass both chambers, and then it would go on a statewide ballot for voters to decide.